Go. I have to. Why am I always late? And then Raph's here for the first time, and he just jumps in straight away. My video's always delayed. So, so here we are. Welcome to Rokk Around the Clock, and as you may be able to see there, we are missing our brilliant lead in Stadia Rocks. He is actually away, so lucky him. So I have been joined by, and here's the best thing here, I get joined by an award-winning Raph Gaming. So how are you, Raph?
Do you know what? I'm doing well. I had a little bit of a nap before I came in, so I'm a little bit refreshed. How are you guys doing? How are you doing?
Oh, I am doing awesome. So can I say, why are you award-winning now, Raph?
So I was actually lucky enough to win part of the Black Creator Fund and Mentoring Program. So I created a game on Creator Stadia exclusive or timed exclusive for now. And yeah, I was just one of the lucky few winners to actually have the chance to win, which is actually quite an honor when you think about it. Like being one of the first winners of this brand new game on this new cloud gaming service. So that's always fun.
Yeah, but I know you've been really enjoying it. You and Andy have been playing that a fair bit, and you've been actually on their streams a bit, haven't you?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'm going to be on their stream tomorrow, hosting as well, actually. So another thing I'm looking forward to.
Or do you know what you're going to be playing yet, or are you just going to have you any games lined up?
Do you know what? You actually get a list. You get a list tomorrow. So you get a list tomorrow, and then you can play them ahead of time, or you're not.
Okay, and what's it going to say? 7 o'clock tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, 7. Is it 7? Yeah, 7 till about 8:30, 9ish. It's always interesting.
It's always interesting. So at 7 o'clock UK, so that would be 2 o'clock Eastern, and oh, my maths is gone here. No, it can't be 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock Pacific time, just out for our whole worldwide audience there. So we're just going to move on to what's been happening over the last 7 days in cloud gaming, but it's mainly got a Stadia focus, so don't be worried. It's mainly Stadia. Like 99% of it's going to be here Stadia. So we're going to start off with our first news story, which is from Thursday last week, and it was the big news of the whole week. And then the Epic drops the price of V-Bucks by 20%, and that has started a big war with Apple and Google. So this is a really big and interesting topic here. What was your take on this? Were you surprised, and what have you made of the fireworks afterwards?
If I'm honest, this whole Epic versus all the sort of Apple Store, Google Store, I actually love it. I think it's brilliant. I like how Epic is just like kind of standing out and used their own ad against them, and I think it's exciting. I think it's one of those things that happens and then sends a rumble throughout the whole of I can't even say it, economic of it, sort of the general idea of it. And I'm hoping that they come out on top and they kind of put those changes in place, because I don't think a lot of people actually understand that it's actually quite a massive thing. And if they do succeed at what they're trying to do, it opens up so many doors for so many different things and gives us more of a choice of what we can actually do and where we can play it and what we can do when we play.
Yeah, I'm like you, Raph. I'm just looking there and I'm just grabbing my popcorn and just loving each and every one of these next steps, which has been happening. It is just so funny for me that this is just, it's just happening. I've got a couple of people in the chat here. Oh, see, you've answered about your hair.
Oh gosh, I was gonna hide it, but I was like, I could not hide it. Yeah, so I dyed my wife's hair about a couple of weeks ago, and to return the favor, she dyed my hair. So This is actually supposed to be grey, but it's somehow gone to a nice sort of ginger, so I look a little bit like a can of Coke. So that's always interesting.
As long as you like it, that's the important thing now,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Of course, I love it. I love it. Is my wife listening? I don't even.
Yeah. No, she's not. You can actually say what you really think now. So off you go. Yeah, this epic stuff is brilliant. With it's just so much. So much is actually going to come from it here, and Apple and Google have both banned it from the store. And touch wood, there hasn't been anything actually more today as yet here. So. Ooh, it's all good. It's just such a movable feast with them because it just keeps on changing. We're actually going to touch on some more of that stuff later down the way. Next news topic, which we're going to go into here, is death by chocolate. That is what we've been calling death by daylight. It now has crossplay just in time for the Stadia release. So what they've actually done is on the consoles and on PC, they've actually added in crossplay, and they've actually done cross friends as well. So what that means is if you're playing on a different console to Stadia, if you're playing on PC or Xbox, you could be playing this now. I'm pretty sure Death by Chocolate is a Game Pass game. So you could be playing that now on Xbox, and you could be building up your friends list for when it comes to Stadia. This is just what Stadia needs, and just gaming in general. So what's your thoughts on Death by Chocolate?
So Death by Chocolate, right? This game right here, I think this game's actually quite interesting when you think about it, and the whole timing of everything. I don't think we're going to get into anything else here, but so we know, without going into much detail, but we know about Serious Sam coming on the 24th, and then about Baldur's Gate coming on the 30th. And there's a lot of stuff happening around the end of September. So it kind of just makes you think, what's happening, what's going on there? Are we going to be getting something there? Are we going to be getting something then? And I wouldn't be surprised if this game, Death by Chocolate, comes around that time, because there's a lot of things aligning, as you said, with the whole cross-play and cross friends. Did you say?
Yeah, it was cross friends.
Yeah, I think
that cross friends is just in the game. It's on like a game by game
basis. Okay, that's cool.
So that's just in Death by. Oh, I muted myself too early there.
No, I think there's a lot of things going on there. So this game excites me because this is another game that we know is going to have crowd choice, and that's a massive step to have that crossplay. I think, as you said, a lot of the games need to start having this crossplay, and I think crossplay is going to be what actually pushes Stadia that little bit further over the edge, like in its infancy of being what it is. That's what it really needs, and they've come at quite a good time where a lot of games are now starting to push this whole cross-play and cross-feature stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Death by Chocolate coming to Stadia. That's okay. This was we made this up, the Death by Chocolate, because I'm brilliant with names and all that, so it was easier for me to remember Death by Chocolate because I kept on getting the Death by Daylight or Day by Daylight, and I was just calling it by everything. So Death by Chocolate was easier for me to remember. With that, I think end of September could be a good shout because of everything seems to be aligning there, and also it's Halloween. It's a perfect game for Halloween and get all the Halloween streamers going on.
I didn't even think about that.
The other thing to think about for September is we're actually going to be starting it from. We're starting it this week. Stadia is going to be on a massive roll here going forward. We've got all these games coming. We've got PGA coming at the end of the week, and next week we've got Windbound. I know you're really looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
We'll probably come on to that a wee bit later. Then we've also got the Avengers coming, and then it's Serious Sam. What else is there? It's just
Spirit Father's coming by the end of this week as well.
Yep, Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already know what our two of our pro games are next month in Hitman and
Hitman 2. Is it 1 and 2?
That's Hello Neighbor.
Oh yes, yes.
1 and 2 are both common. Yeah.
No. Yeah,
So
1.
one's the pro game, 2 is just going to be you have to buy, but I'm assuming it's going to be a pro game in the coming months as well. But we're just going to be absolutely swimming in games here in the next couple of weeks in Stadia.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, it's lots to look forward to. What's our next topic here is, speaking of pro games, we actually got a pro game on the 14th. That was Friday the 14th, which was Rokk of Ages free. And that was free to pro subscribers, which is brilliant news for us. It's another free game.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had a chance to give it a go?
Do you know what? I haven't actually had the chance at all. I've been quite busy with work, which is why you guys haven't actually seen much of my content lately. But no, I'm really looking forward to giving this a go, and hopefully on Saturday I'll get a chance to actually dive into the game.
Yeah, stupid work. That's awful. I hate work. Does anybody actually like work?
I used to.
I know, but you used to. Then this situation has just made things about 1,000,000 times worse for everybody. Some people's workloads have went way up, some people's have went way down. So some people are gaming more, and some people are gaming less. Unfortunately, I'm in the gaming less sort of category.
Yeah.
But Rokk of Ages free for. I think it's got a mixed reception. I think if you like it, you really like it. And if you hate it, you've given it about 5 minutes and go, this isn't for me. So yeah, it's another free game, another different game on Stadia, which will appeal to some people. It's not going to appeal to everybody. So I think that's as much as we can say about that. We will go on to one of the big stories of the week, which was on the Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And GTA is rumored to come to Stadia. What do you think about that?
Do you know what? GTA 5, I felt like GTA 5, for me personally, was far too big of a game. Like, I kind of got lost in it. But, however, in saying that, I know the following that this game has, and this game's been out for a while now, and am I right in saying that this game has been a free game on Xbox and on PlayStation at one point?
Not a free game that's been on PS Now, which you can download, and it's been on Game Pass. It might actually be in Game Pass.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and yeah, that's what I meant to say. And I can see Google Stadia putting up the big bucks to have this game as a pro game, and I think that's quite genius, and because this game has a following, and imagine all those people that don't have all these high-tech consoles and stuff like that getting that for free as a pro game, which is a game that you can, once you have it as long as you're a pro member. I think that's such a clever idea, and I didn't think this game would come to Stadia. I thought, no, they're just going to skip this one and go to the next one. But when you actually think about it and look at it, you can see why having this game on Stadia and possibly making it a pro game, this is just speculation, is really clever and so smart, because it actually requires quite a lot to play at the highest specs. And if you're on Stadia, as you know, we need is an internet connection. So I think that's really good.
Yeah, being a pro game is actually not within the realms of possibility, because I think GTA and Rockstar would be open to that. Because if you remember a couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, it was free on the Epic Game Store. And that actually made their numbers soar, and it actually was in their boring reports, their monthly meeting, or not monthly, their quarterly billing, that this actually made it explode on PC for a while, and actually made them a load of money because everybody was in buying their GTA money. Yeah. So it's definitely not out from the realms of possibility that this could be a pro game at some stage. If it does come as a pro game, that could be a major shot in the arm for Stadia, and it could be worth the money to actually put it down, because if you get the next gen version for that would get a lot of people tempted. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to shout out some people in chat here. We've got Dazadini, the She won, did she? better than her dad there.
Yeah.
We've got Chase, we've got Rick Tome, we've got some evil person called Kelly. We've got Raph, obviously you.
Hey, it's me.
Happy Cloud Gamer. We've got don't subscribe to Tommy Danger in the chat. And no, it's not a David chair, that's Kelly's chair. We've got the Gamer Man. We've got Live the Gaming. Hi there, how's it going? We've got young Andy in the chat as well.
Andy.
Happy's got a wee question here, which I think would be a good time to give it a go because we're just talking about free stuff and big companies. EA have just rebranded their EA Access program to EA Play.
Okay.
Do you think EA are going to bring like their EA Play service to Stadia in the future?
Do you know what? I'm not actually familiar with the service at all. I think I kind of know origin, but it wouldn't surprise me. Why would you not want to bring it? Why would you want to bring something that can make you more money? It's like a no-brainer almost, because that's more money towards their subscription, and they're not losing anything on it. They've already got games in Stadia. All they have to do is put it in a pass and get those little bonus extra money. You know?
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't think it'll be coming anytime soon. I think maybe this time next year we might see it after more games come onto the service, because we know there's 4 or 5 coming on this in the next 5-6 months or so. So I think they'll probably just want to get it a bit more settled and get a lot more games on it to make it actually the value for it to come. Hi, Gamer Boy, how's it going? And yeah, I don't think it's too far off, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon.
Yeah.
Oh, next we had on Sunday.
Can I just try to talk about the GTA 5 thing that you said about? I never thought about it like that. Like games like GTA 5, because they kind of thrive off of microtransactions at the moment, don't they? And I think Andy Morphs was also saying this about quite a few games actually, that if you bring it to the service and you just put little microtransactions in there, that is an easy way for them to pay for that game to be on that service for free and just giving it out. So that's a very good shout, Duncan.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we're going to mention the swear word here. Like Fortnite would be good on the service, and all these free-to-play games. It's not actually. It is the microtransactions. That's where they make their money. They make absolutely bonkers sort of money in microtransactions. It's what was it? Fortnite, was it £1 billion or $1 billion they made in March or April this year just on microtransactions? Even if you get 10% of that, that's a hell of a lot of money for you. Even if Stadia have to lock it behind Pro. Most people on Stadia have Stadia Pro because it is brilliant value. So I think it's a win-win. Just get these games on, pay the money, and get them on. You'll make your money back on the microtransactions.
Exactly.
The next news on the Sunday was some interesting news. It was Apple may be bringing in their own cloud gaming service. They actually put a patent out there. What makes this even more intriguing is just the backdrop of what's going on at the moment. Their fight with Epic, and the fight with Google as well. The fight with Microsoft about their cloud services. I know Epic doesn't have one, but they're going to have one. Hint, hint, Tencent. So this is going to be very, very interesting in the weeks and months to come. What do you think about it? About Apple trying to get their own cloud gaming on 5G?
Not in a horrible way, but I think I don't think they should get into the realms of gaming. I've played their arcade games, and it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, they're fun to play, but they're not games that I would go out of my way to play on a daily basis, or it's not games. They're not games that you would want to kind of progress in. They're sort of games that you'll play for a little while, maybe put a few microtransactions into it, and then you'll kind of forget about it. Like they had a game on there, a Sonic Racer game, and while it is good, it's not something that you would want to play all the time. So I think that personally, I think they should just stop trying to get into this whole gaming world. I understand competition is better, but from what I can see, their service isn't really something that I'm interested in, unless they're trying to go the same route as Google and create a Stadia sort of system. Because if I'm looking into it now in my head, I'm thinking I'm quite invested in the Apple iOS sort of system where I've got my iPhone, my iPad, my iTunes, all my films on there and my stuff like that. And to have my games in one place like that, that would be quite cool. But if they're going the same route as the Apple Arcade, then I'm really not interested at all.
Yeah, yeah, I think you're right. It all depends how they're going to go in. Are they going to go in like half-hearted, or are they going to go full in? We're building our own studios up. There will be AAA, or Microsoft's case, quadruple A studios, and just to make these absolutely massive games and actually improve rather than take away from other people, like going in to buy these studios up and stop them going on to all the different systems. So yeah, I would actually welcome them, because I think they would bring in some value to it, because they would put a lot of money behind it. If they were going in properly, which you would hope they would be sticking an absolute fortune into it to maybe build it up. But if it's going to be a half-hearted sort of approach, which Amazon seem to have started, they're either sometimes they're all in, sometimes they're all out. It's not going to work. They're going to have to actually put in a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if we are going to see it, I think we will probably start seeing the moves shortly, because even before the Amazon or the Apple TV subscription service they built, you heard them making moves a year or two before that happened, because it takes that long time to actually start building up the content to put onto the service. So yeah, I would be actually really intrigued to see how this would actually play out. I would welcome it going forward.
Do you know what? In saying what you just said about the whole movie things, that's actually quite got me interested now as well, because they have kind of come at it at almost like a Netflix sort of approach to the whole movies thing, and I'm actually quite enjoying their content and the whole thing with them giving you, if you have an Apple product, a new one within whenever it was, you get that whole year free. And I think that's actually really clever of you to point out their whole TV service. And if they did that with the game service, you know what? I would 100% be interested, because I would know that it was serious.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, I was just agreeing with you there. Sorry for interrupting.
No. I wasn't going to say much more. Yeah.
Yeah, it's with Apple. If they do step in, and they step in big, they're going to pump in a lot of money, and they're going to go for quality. They're going to be trying to get the best of the best of the best, because that's what they go for. You may not like iPhones, but I think you sort of respect them in some ways, because they just work. Apple TV, well, it may be lacking content. The content which is on there is usually it's top tier. You just know what you're going to get with Apple sort of stuff. So if they come in and start pumping the money into gaming, proper, I don't know, I'm going to rephrase that. Mobile gaming is proper gaming. I'm going to say higher value gaming, bigger productions, the AAA game console type experiences. I think they could be onto an absolute winner if they put the money towards it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see where Apple would actually go with this in the future. They could really shake it up. The only thing you have to be a bit worried about this is the infrastructure. Do they have the infrastructure to actually do this? And here's the thing as well. Today, Apple became the first $2 trillion company. So they are worth $2 trillion, which is absolutely bonkers if you think about it.
Wow.
How much that is just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's that's including everything that they spend as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how much it would cost you to buy Apple. $2 trillion.
Oh my goodness.
I know you've got that down the back of your sofa there, so you can go buy them.
How the other half live, eh?
Yeah, but yeah, the next topic is when we move on to Monday is 15 further characters were dropped for Marvel Avengers. Just make sure I've got the right one up here. Oh, nope, I've got the wrong one up there. We'll talk about this one anyway. We're just a day ahead of ourselves there. And we Super Hot Mind Control Delete launched yesterday. It have to phrase this right because it's a bit confusing if you don't say it right. If you bought the game, it is free. So if you actually paid the money, the £20 or so, $20 for Super Hot, you get this for free. If you picked up Super Hot as a pro game, you have to pay for this, and it is actually on offer at the moment for £12, I think, so it'll be about $15. So if it's slightly different to the original, where it's actually a roguelike, so it actually changes as you go. So, have you played this, or have you played the original, Raph?
Again, it's another game that I haven't actually had time to play. It's an interesting concept, but I just haven't had time to play it all. Along with the monkey one as well. I haven't had time to play any of these games, which isn't a bad thing when you think about it. These are games that you're getting for free, and imagine saying that you have too many games to play on Stadia. But no, I haven't played the first one, but this does look quite interesting. I like the whole concept of it. But what do I don't know. It's a game.
It's a game. Yeah. For me, the original Super Hot was the right length. It didn't outsay its welcome. It was perfect length. The concept didn't get old, and it basically didn't outsay its welcome. And it was the most innovative game I've played in years.
Oh.
That's a wee joke. It's when you play it's a wee joke in the game, so it is. But it is actually a really, really innovative game. And I mentioned this on Sunday. This was actually created in the Game Jam, or the concept was created in the Game Jam. Speaking of Game Jams, is there a creative one coming up?
Yes, you know what? The whole thing with this Game Jam, I don't understand the concept of it. So I don't know if you've experienced the Game Jam before. I've never experienced one before. I don't understand how it works. Do you just go in and meet people and you do it, or do you?
Normally, what happens is you're given like a topic. Say what have they said what the topic is for the creative one?
No, they'll be announcing it on Friday, I think.
They're just announcing it on Friday. So basically, they'll come in and say the topic is the Olympic Games. And then you have 24 hours, 48 hours, or 36 hours to actually create that game. You could probably do it. You could do it in a team, or you could do it individually. But you're competing against all the other teams to actually make the game. So it's really, if you're really into making games, and it's a really, really good concept. So Creative's doing this on Friday. Do you know any more details about it, or is it just
so? From what I've understood and what I've read, what you can do is you can pair up with some friends now or later, and you can create stuff ahead of time. And I'm guessing once you get that word, you can adapt it to the theme of the whole Game Jam. And I also know that for every game that gets entered, that they'll be giving $200 to a charity. So the maximum of $2,000, I believe. I might have those numbers incorrect. It might be 25,000, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Really,
are you going to be taking part?
I don't know. I want to take part, but work. So yeah, I have a beast at the minute.
Yeah, I might have a wee look at that on Friday just to see
Yeah,
what's going on. I might reach out to the guys to see if I can get any more information about it as well.
yeah.
Maybe try and get some things posted up ahead of time. But I know Box Boy will probably want to take part in that. What do you think? Do you think Andy will be?
Of course, yeah. Box Boy would love it. I reckon Box Boy's already got an idea.
Yeah.
I like the nickname, by the way. I'm gonna still get it.
Okay, it just came to me now, so we'll go for Box Boy.
There we go. He likes it. That's a good name.
Yeah. So yeah, it's well, and then we're completely off topic there. See, this is why you need Rokk in this show is because I just take this completely in random and utterly directions. He gets the whip out, and just keeps me on track here. So because I'm just random. I think everybody knows I'm random. So this actually started from Super Hot is now available in Stadia, and it's got a pretty good reaction. If you like Super Hot, it's more of the same. It's going to be endless because it's a roguelike. And here's some. No, it's not breaking news, but it is a bit of news. If you actually pick this game out now and you take some screenshots, they are actually doing a competition, Super Hot themselves, and you might be able to win some prizes. So Super Hot, it's more weapons, roguelike, more enemies, more. If you like Super Hot, go get it. Basically, it's just more of the same.
Do you know what? It's funny. I've seen a lot of people actually really positive towards this game. And I know it's an indie game, but I know a lot of people aren't fans of indie games. But even the people that aren't fans have been showing this game so much love, so it must be really good. I've got to check it out.
Yeah, like I said, it's the perfect length. It's be like a Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon sort of game. It's not too long. You could depending how long your sittings is, you could finish it in one sitting. That's about 4 or 5 hours, but you could or an hour a night. For a couple of nights, you're going to be rocking and get the first one over and done with, and you'll get a nice feel to that. Nice. Our next topic is going to be the game I was actually playing at the weekend with Kelly, and I really enjoyed it. And that is Marvel Avengers. And that is coming to Stadia on the 3rd of September. I'm actually writing an article about this for Cloudy for Chance of Games. There's the plug. And I think it's going to be fine on Stadia is going to be the gist of it. But the news, which we found out on Monday, is there's 15 more characters available or going to be available. And I'm a moonbeam and I don't have my notes up in front of me of all the different characters.
That's right, it's on the screen now.
It's on the screen now, so everybody can see them there. There's quite a few of them. A couple of these could be called what is shadow characters. So it's basically going to be like probably the same move sets as their original characters in the game, which is like the stupid one called Thor, which a lot of people like. Iron Man. Who else? Miss Marvel. There's millions. For me, I have been really enjoying it. Have you checked out any of the footage? What do you think of the Avengers?
Do you know what? When I first heard about this game and saw the footage back in, I think it was like maybe after November, it looked. I'm not gonna lie to you, it looked rubbish. Like it looked really clunky and slow and all that. However, seeing the gameplay recently and about a month ago, it looks so good. Like looks like they improved on it so much. The gameplay looks really good. I like the whole customization of it and the character progression. This is like my sort of game, so I'm definitely picking this game up. Looking really good. Like, how does it play for you?
Oh, it was playing the opening mission. Spoilers coming up here, slight spoilers. If you've got an Xbox, PC, or PlayStation, you can play it this Saturday or from this Friday for over the weekend. I thoroughly recommend it because you'll know straight away if you're going to like it or not. After the first mission, I like watch it. I love the Avengers, the movies. I was sitting there with a smile on my face when I'm playing it. It's a co-op game, so unfortunately, again, I was teaming up with Kelly, and she was shouting because floor wasn't available during the missions we were playing. But loads and loads of fun. I think a lot of people are forgetting games are meant to be just fun and just go in, switch your brain off. You're an Avenger, go kick some butt, and just have a load of fun. Just as a thing, I'm beforehand, I was actually thinking of maybe just getting this on PlayStation because of Spider-Man,
Traitor.
Trader, yes, but I am actually thinking of getting it on Stadia, and that may sound a bit daft because we know what Stadia's got with let's not beat a bit round the bush here. The multiplayer numbers aren't great for a lot of games on Stadia, but with the Avengers, I'm quite positive that it's going to be fine on Stadia because it's you don't need to be in the multiplayer to play it. If there isn't enough people in the party, or if you just want to play it single, they actually give you an AI characters to actually play about with. So they're the characters you have been leveling up. So if you're just want to play this by yourself, you can just jump in and play. And if the numbers aren't great, you know you'll always get to play. So for Stadia, I'm not actually too worried about the Avengers because I know a lot of people were out there worried about this because this is a big multiplayer game going forward. And for me, you don't really have to worry too much about it for Stadia.
Yeah. And plus, go on.
Oh yeah, I'm listening to you there. Sorry.
I was going to say that. Plus, I'm pretty sure in this community that you'll at least find someone to play with, whether you go into Discord or you go into, if you go into anything even below a tweet of theirs, I'm sure you'll find someone to play with because I cannot imagine there's not going to be that many people not getting this game. This is, in my opinion, probably one of the first newer big games that are coming out that everyone will be pretty much interested in, at least 90%. So I'm sure you'll find someone to play with.
Yeah, so I'm not too concerned about the Avengers from a multiplayer standpoint yet. And Andy's point, no, it is not crossplay at this moment in time. So that's just okay, but you never know. So hopefully everything will be fine with that going forward. We'll move on to our next topic here, which was a shock for me. It's very rarely, or that's a lie, I'm always shocked by Stadia stuff, but this was a shock yesterday. Doom Doom just came out from nowhere and dropped onto Stadia. The running joke, where's Doom? Where's Doom? Where's Doom? And it just drops randomly on a Tuesday at 3:00. And I was like, wow, where did that come from? And I'm going to say something positive here. It came in at a good price. It wasn't a full price game. It was a reasonable price game, which was really, really good. What do you think about that?
I think that we need to get to the point where we don't know when every single game is coming out on Stadia. I want to get to the point where a game can just drop and you don't know about it because there's so many games to play. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure all these other consoles don't announce every single indie game that drops or every single big game that drops because these bigger games, they will promote themselves. These smaller games, they'll promote themselves, and Stadia just has to be that place where you go. So I'm looking forward to that whole sort of games just dropping because they're supposed to drop. Like, I know we all want them to announce everything. Like, why do they not announce this dropping? Why do they not announce this dropping? But we need to get to that point where we're beyond that, because once we're beyond that, then people will see this as a more serious sort of thing, which I'm looking forward to. So I think it was a brilliant move, and then dropping it without saying anything straight away. I know they said something later, but I think this is good. They didn't make a big song and dance about it. They just gave it to us and was like, here you go. There we go. It came. We told you it was coming. It came.
Yep, I agree. we're at the stage still where any game that comes is a big game for Stadia. It could be the smallest indie game at all, and everybody in the community is going, "Yay, a game!" But we do need to get past that mindset because we just need more and more games. And the more games that come, the better and the healthier the platform will be. And we get people out from what I'm calling the Stadia mindset because because of the lack of games coming, or which is definitely changing as the weeks are going on there, because we've already talked about how many games are coming. A lot of people are getting attuned to, I'm not going to buy a game in Stadia because I know it's going to be a Stadia Pro game in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. But would you need to get out from that mindset as well, because that's not a healthy mindset for the platform going forward. So yeah, it's really, I'm really happy that it's finally came, and it's 15 quid, $20, which, yes, it's a 2016 game, but at least they haven't came out and priced it as a full price game, which it wouldn't have shocked me if they did that either. So it's really, that was a pleasant surprise, actually. Next, we're going to talk about this, but we're going to actually do this into a bigger one slightly later here. Is yesterday, their Baldur's Gate 3 early access was semi-confirmed for the 30th of September. They've actually given us a date, but they still said it could slip, and it is coming to PC and Stadia at the same time. Did you have a chance to check out the footage?
Did I didn't. What time did this happen? This happened at about 6 o'clock yesterday. No, I didn't have time to. I saw some other things out, but I was watching or was listening in the background to people's reactions to it. And I think, do you know what? It's one of those games where, like, I know nothing about this game. I don't know the backstory to it. But I know it has a massive following, and it is a type of game that I'd be interested in, a type of game that I've never played before, but I would be interested in playing. But I've never had the chance to play it because back in the day, my computer was not strong enough to even attempt to play a game like this. And now that it's coming to Stadia, and Stadia's not massive, so it's getting even more attention than it probably would have on anything else. I think that it's a good time to have this, and it's something that I'm looking forward to. And yeah, it's just a big game. And I think I've seen a lot of articles. I don't know if you want to talk about this, but I've seen a lot of articles saying that this is the game that will either make or break it.
Yeah, we'll touch about that shortly. Also, we've got more games on sale for Stadia Pro and free subscribers. Assassin's Creed, a couple of Ubisoft games. Was there anything to see like for you? Oh, and Zombie Army. The Zombie Army is the one which is actually going to maybe appeal for me, because we love that game. We've been playing that. We play that every week, so we'll do for a bit anyway. I think that is the best game in Stadia. Or sorry, not the best.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean though.
Not the best game. The game I've enjoyed the most on the platform so far.
Yes.
Was there any games in which you would recommend in it? So there was Assassin's Creed. There was Ghost Recon. I guess it's up on the screen here. Just Dance. I know you're a big fan of Just Dance.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. Like I said, Mind Control Delete was on sale as well.
So you make a joke about Just Dance, but I actually really like Just Dance.
Hands up if you've got Just Dance. And do you have Just Dance in the chat? Yes, I have got Just Dance. Just Dance is actually not too bad, and I think we're going to be playing it at the weekend. I think that's going to be making its way out on Saturday for me, because we've got a bit of a party here on Saturday. Oh, nice. Yeah, so there might be some dance moves getting brought out by Kelly.
Yeah. So these discounts, I'm happy for everybody else, but I reckon you're like me and you bought these games or claimed these games when they came out. And whilst I'm happy for everybody else, I'm a little bit annoyed that I didn't wait for like that Assassin's Creed Odyssey Ultimate Edition, because I think it's something like £24 or £24.99, £23.99 in the UK store. And That is a steal. That's a really good price, and that's not just for the pro users. That's for everyone, isn't it? No, that's for the pro. No, it's for
Yeah,
everyone. Yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah.
the pro.
It's actually on sale for 34, so I think it's about £30. So you are
Yeah.
making Assassin's Creed. If you play it the way it's meant to be played, in my opinion, you're talking a well over 100-hour game.
Yes. Oh,
And if you go into the DLCs, you could be up to 150 odd hours as well. I just want to shout out a couple more people in the chat here. We've got the Stadia Goat, but I thought that was you, Raph, the Stadia Goat.
no.
The Stadia Goat in the chat, and Eddie and Ashes to Ashes.
There you go.
So thank you all for joining us here.
Ooh.
Yeah, for me, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is brilliant, and in my opinion, I think there's been a little bit of tweaking to it. I think it's a bit. I don't think it's. The tweaking I think it's done is it's actually stabilized the frame rate, because I think it was a bit choppy at times. I think it's been stabilized. So it's worth checking out if you haven't got that. I think everybody knows if they like Assassin's Creeds or not. Assassin's Creed Odyssey will just keep you going and going and going.
Yeah, that's the first one I've ever played, actually. When I think about it,
In my opinion, Origins is better.
okay.
If that comes with Uplay Plus, or even if it just comes to service, I'll be getting that, because I'm actually playing that on GeForce now, which we won't mention. And I am loving it again. It's, for me, it's the perfect blend of the new and the old. It's I think Odyssey just went too far, but Origins for me is brilliant. I'm really, really enjoying that.
See, the thing is, with the old ones, I couldn't get into it because I used to watch my brother play it, and it just used to look so repetitive. Like, you jump off the building, land in a bale of hay, assassinate someone, go hide, and then rinse and repeat. Whereas this one, it had the whole RPG elements where you could actually go into the different branches of the story and go different routes and different, like, it had a sort of it had a GTA sort of vibe to it, where you could kind of freestyle and do what you wanted to do.
Yeah, it's in some ways, it's the Assassin's Creed have took a major step forward, but they've actually lost a bit of the old style. So I think they're still trying to balance it completely out there. I just realised, because of my yapping here and me going off topic, we're running out of time here, and we've got two breaking news, or not big breaking news stories, but you've got one and I've got one, so we'll do one together when we get this done. Another big game coming out for Stadia, which is coming slightly later. I'm not concerned about that, because I think is Outriders. They've got a big talk coming out on the 25th, where they're just going to go into more information about the game. So well worth checking that out. Next is Spiritfarer, which has been released in all the other platforms over the last couple of days, or yesterday. That's coming to Stadia on Friday. I think the ballpark we're looking here is about £25 for the game, so you're talking $30. It seems to be getting a brave number of good reviews there as well. So just it's worth checking that one out there. It's going to be slightly something different. What's your feelings on Spiritfarer and Outriders?
So Outriders, I'm with you on that whole. I'm not worried about it coming out when it comes out. It's one of those games that looks good, and when it's ready to come Stadia, it's ready to come Stadia. Spiritfarer, I love the idea of this game. The whole life after death sort of thing, and dealing with emotions sort of thing, and it has those sort of lost words vibes to it. So that's sort of a game that I would like to look deeper into at some point.
Okay, and I think we will move on to what I'm going to say about these breaking news stories. What we have got, it's both of them are going to need a grain of salt. So, my first one's up there anyway. So, first one is, it looks like Prince of Persia is making a comeback. It is coming back as a remake, and there's actually a date of November for this. So this has actually been outed in a couple of stores, and it looks like it's got a substantial weight behind it because a couple of the leading journalists have said, "Yeah, this is probably happening."
Kenzaro.
Yeah. Jason Schreider, I can't say his name, has said he has known about it for a while now, but he hasn't leaked it because it was going to be a surprise. So this is hopefully, touch wood again, pinch of salt, get all your salt in there. But this is probably going to be announced at the next Ubisoft event. And again, this is not a brand new game, it's a remake. So it could be any of the Prince of Persia games. So, Raph, you've got some news you would want to break as well.
Yes, Idle Sloth on Twitter, so at Idle Sloth. There are some leaks of the new Warner Brother games coming. So, the Batman Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But again, this is something else that you have to take with a pinch of salt. So I'm gonna read it out from start to bottom. So Batman Gotham Knights, made by Warner Brother Montreal. Large open world city divided into 17 districts. Each district is controlled by an elite talent. 4 main playable characters: Batman, Nightwing, Robin, Damian Wayne, and Batwoman. Harley Quinn is a bonus pre-order character. Switch between these characters at any time while they're in different places, like GTA 5. Main antagonist is the Court of Owls, Talons. Talons can regenerate after being defeated and will go after the character that defeated them. Defeating an elite Talon means that their district becomes part of Batman Incorporated, Batman Inc., giving access to new upgrades, crafting materials, etc. Secret villains controlling the court are the 3 Jokers, based on the Jeff Johns upcoming comic. And it says coming early 2021 to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Steam, Epic, and Stadia. And then we go into the next game, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, a Rocksteady production. So co-op game with RPG elements. Goal is to assassinate or capture the 7 members of the Justice League. They're similar to raid bosses. Playable characters are Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, Cheetah, Bane, Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, and Gorilla Grodd. Deathstroke and Red Hood are future DLC characters. Red Hood is a PlayStation exclusive, of course. You know, PlayStation and their exclusives. And then you have Justice League. But the Justice League bosses are Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Red Robin, and Cyborg. Batman is excluded because Warner Brothers doesn't want to show him being killed or captured because, you know, he had prep time. So Red Robin replaces him. Martian Manhunter will be added in future update. Superman, Wonder Woman, and Flash will only be captured, not killed. And then again, coming late 2021 or 2022 to PS5, Xbox X Series X, Steam, Epic, and again, Stadia. So these are things that we have to look forward to, really.
Yep, it's really good news there. As we know, Warner Brothers, who were up for sale, who no longer seem to be up for sale, have got Mortal Kombat on Stadia. So the pinch of salt required that this is real or not, but there seems to be a lot of detail there.
Mm-hmm. A lot.
With it being Warner Brothers, you would think there's a possibility as well that it would come to Stadia because they have stuff on the platform as well. So yeah, I think this may have a bit of smoke. It may not be all the right details, but I think we've got a fair bit here.
I want to add one thing to that as well, is the whole, like, I know take it with a grain of salt, but if I was faking this, I would only put Xbox Series X and I would only put PS5. I wouldn't even add Stadia or the rest of them because, do you know what I mean? Like adding Stadia to me kind of makes it that little bit more real because you just wouldn't mention it, would you? You'd leave it out, not in a horrible way, just do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think there's a real possibility of this. We do know, or at least we don't have to wait that long because the first announcement's at the end of the week. I'm pretty sure it's either Friday or Saturday. We're going to find out more information about one of these games anyway. So at least we won't be too far along there.
Yeah.
I mean, the speculation won't run too long. So again, I think it's going to come to Stadia. There we go. We'll be optimistic. It's going to come to Stadia.
Yeah.
We were meant to have a talking point, but make it a nice, quick talking point because would you try to keep these to like an hour long at the very as long, I can't even speak. See, this is why Rokk does this because I can't speak. Our talking point for the this week, and we do just try and keep us to an hour, so it's like a perfect sort of thing, so it doesn't eat into everybody's time too much. As our talking point is tonight, is many are reporting that Baldur's Gate 3 coming to Stadia is make or break for the platform. Firstly, is it that big of a game? And secondly, if it is it not really that important to the platform going forward? What do you think? And what do you guys in chat think? And hi, Stadia Krampus, how's it going? Glad to see you here as well. So, Raph, what's your take on this?
Okay, please do not shoot me, people. But I don't think it will make or break the platform, because I know a lot of people are not interested in these dice rolling games or games of chance or games on this sort of scale. A lot of people from when I was growing up weren't that interested in stuff like this. So I think this is a niche market. But what I think it will do is it will bring more people in. It will bring those people who don't have the right specs to play on PC. It will bring those ones that don't have the amount of money to afford that sort of gear, technology, equipment, that will see Stadia and go, "What, I can play this on Stadia, and all I need is an internet connection." Definitely, I don't think it will make it or break it. I think it will introduce a whole different crowd into this sort of game.
Yeah, my take on it is I don't think it's going to make or break the platform, and I don't actually think it's a big game for the platform either to bring a lot of people in. My feeling in this game is this going to be the showcase game of the actual new features which are going to be implemented into the crowd choice and crowd choice, yeah. Crowd choice is going to be in this. We've got crowd play coming with by Death by Chocolate and Bomberman. See, there's another game I've just mentioned there, which is coming, and it's coming soon. Too many games coming. So this is going to be I think it's going to be a big streaming game for people, and you can just see a load of people are just going to sit there and people saying this. You're going to be evil. You're going to be a complete and utter Rokk in this game. You can use whatever term you want to for Rokk, a good thing or a bad thing, and it's going to be really fun. It's going to be more of a showcase of the actual potential of Stadia, rather than bringing a lot of people in. As you said, it's going to bring people in who maybe don't have the right specs for their PC and they want to maybe just jump in a bit earlier, but I don't think it's going to be a massive draw of a lot of new people jumping into the platform. It's just going to be more a gateway to show this is what Stadia is going to be in the future, because this is the first big game which Stadia is being thought as an equal rather than an afterthought. So I think that is a big thing. It's actually being thought of, and actually things are actually going to be used to take advantage of Stadia rather than against it, or not even here. You're just going to stay. There's your report Stadia. You can be quiet now, sort of thing. So we've got a load of actually really good points in the chat here. Stadia Goat agrees with you, Raph. Ashes to Ashes thinks, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is important to show the special features that Stadia can bring to the table, but the game is big enough to break Stadia if it fails. That isn't big enough to break Stadia if it fails. Raph, Eddie's got a question for you. Oh yeah, you answered it.
Yeah, no, I think the game looks amazing. It's my sort of game. It's not for everyone, but what will bring people in or attract people to this game is the Stadia features, which is what attracted most of the people to Stadia, the Stadia features.
Yeah. I want to use it. That's my main. Not get a PlayStation 5. Yep. See, that's the thing with Stadia. You do have the potential there to actually just use it as your main going forward. I would say this to absolutely everybody. Even though Stadia is my favorite place to play, do not sell your Xboxes or your PlayStations at this moment in time. Don't be going that thing. But if it delays you getting your PlayStation 5s and Xbox One or Series X's, that's absolutely fine, but not selling your existing stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
No. Stadia Goat says CrowdPay is more important for making or breaking. Imagine PewDiePie playing a crowd play session with him and everybody setting up to play Stadia with him. Exactly. That's what I've been saying for a while now. Or not even just Baldur's Gate 3. You've got that for PUBG. He drops a link into PUBG. He drops a link into Fall Guys, which may come to Stadia at some stage. That could actually explode Stadia. That's where the multiplayer part of this happens. Yeah. Yes, it's that is where people play it because there's YouTube people are playing it, and then see the work from her, and it just spreads out so everybody gets it. Holtz is Dad's Daily says games from EA will be what determines Stadia's future. FIFA, Madden, etc. That brings the gamers in. Exactly, they need to get these games stay in date. We do know if FIFA and Madden are coming this year, but it's when they're coming is the unfortunateness of that. Rock's just a lazy Egypt. He just likes lounging about. So he does. Holt has said, "Well, Baldur's Gate will be huge in Stadia, and should I buy it? Rules of dice. Baldur's Gate, it could be. It's going to be." For me, I think it's going to be the place to play it because of the Stadia features. What about you? Or
I'm still going with this whole. If anybody was like me back in the day, where I couldn't afford or didn't have the best features for my laptop or my PC or the right hard drive or the hardware to actually boost up my thing so that I could play it at its optimal place, I wouldn't even bother getting the game because I'd be like, I can't play it in the state that I want to play it. But I know I keep saying this, but Stadia gives you that option. Like, you just need a good internet connection or a decent internet connection, and you can play this at whatever monitor or resolution that your screen is at. And I think that is one of the biggest selling points of it, because this game is going to be a huge game. It's not a small game. We know it's not. We know that it's probably going to, like, the download for this game on Steam is probably going to be huge. And the fact that you can still play it at this same level as playing it natively, I think that's impressive on its own in itself. So for me, I can see why people would play this up to, like, as their main place on Stadia, because they don't have the right equipment. And for me, that's just something that I can see. I can see it. That would be the main reason that I would play it on Stadia. And if I think like that, then I know there's other people that think exactly the same thing as me.
Yeah, and Stadia Krampus agrees with you there. It is, it's getting these games in with just the barrier of entry, and away you go. Again, we could talk about this for a while. I think we've got millions of talking points about this and how other games could do this. Give you an example: PUBG, and actually, I want to write an article about this, but PUBG in India is one of the most played games on the mobile phone.
Oh, wow.
Just imagine when Stadia launches there, instead of playing the mobile version of PUBG, they'll be playing the full version of PUBG on your mobile phones. That is just bonkers. So so that is something to think about going forward, is reducing the barrier to get the fuller experience. That would be it there. I just want to shout out to Gamerman here as well. He thinks Baldur's Gate is going to be awesome in September. I hope so as well. I'm looking forward to giving it a go, so I am. So I'd just like to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. We've actually ran over time, and I think we could have talked on for ages here, because I'm a rambling wee Egypt, so I am. So Raph, where can we find you in the world?
Well, at the moment, you can find me here pretty much every Wednesday. You can find me on this channel doing Rokk Around the Clock with Duncan and Adam himself, Mr. Rokk.
Yep, I'm really looking forward to having you here because you are a flipping legend in the community here. So you are. So I'm really, really happy that you have joined us here and becoming a regular feature here because you've brought some amazing insights to everything going forward. So where can we find you on Twitter?
On Twitter, you can find me at @_ Raph Gaming _ You can find me there.
Yep, and the owner of this channel, who is got his feet up somewhere and relaxing, is at Stadia Rocks, and you can find him here. And you can find me at One Day Escape on Twitter, and also Cloudy with Games on Twitter. So I would just once again thank everybody for joining us here tonight. And we're here every week. Come back. Tell your friends. Tell anybody you want. We just love having the crack here. So thanks for joining us and have a good night. Bye.